Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. As we make our way through the month of October, temperatures have remained relatively mild across the Southwest.
I'm enjoying here to see the customer like this.
I have my own business here. I always tell them it's a good to live here in Canada.
And as the community moves forward with the hopes of making downtown a year-round destination, city officials continue their discussions with the Canadian Pacific Railway. Thanks for joining us here today. As we make our way through another autumn season, Environment Canada is calling for mild conditions right through Halloween. We have more in today's top story. As we make our way through the month of October, temperatures have remained relatively mild across the Southwest, with the odd cool and rainy day. And as Halloween approaches, Environment Canada is calling for mild conditions as compared to previous years.
And let me tell you, in Saskatchewan, anything can happen. I've looked over the history of the third week in Swift Current and parts of southwestern Saskatchewan, and my gosh, you could have temperatures up to the mid-20s. You could have temperatures down to minus 13, minus 15. You can have, you've had in the past 15 centimeters of snow this week, and you can have also 15 millimeters of rain. It's almost pick your poison. It's anything can happen. And this is when I look at the map here and I look at the next 7 days, I see nothing but it's rather what I would call delightfully boring weather. It's just lots of sunshine and no threatening weather. Temperatures that would be this week maybe 2 to 6 to, my gosh, even about a dozen degrees warmer than normal.
And looking beyond October, Phillips indicates a mild airflow will likely be in the forecast across the country, thanks to the influence of El Nino.
If anything, we've seen this feature out in the Pacific, which does influence our winters, is staying the course. It's just behaving like its brothers of the past, and producing conditions around the world that was almost behaving like it should. No surprises, and we think that certainly in southwestern Saskatchewan that there's the preponderance of the late falls and winter and early springs tend to produce milder than normal conditions, and maybe a little dry on that side, but that's not always a clear signal in terms of the precipitation. But certainly from the temperatures, more Pacific air, southerly air, which we're getting this week, and we think that that's going to be the flavor, the personality of the rest of we get into November and into the winter months.
Normal daytime values for Swift Current this time of the year sit at 12 degrees, with an overnight low of -1. Southwest TV News is once again partnering up with Community Futures Southwest, this time for a series profiling newcomers and their entrepreneurial spirit. We find out more in Kyani Connect.
I'm enjoying here to see the customer like this. It's just I'm happy to see people.
I have my own business here. I always tell them it's a good to live here in Canada, and I am honored to be a Canadian.
Edna Davidson immigrated to Canada in 1987, meeting her husband and starting a family as one of an incredibly small Filipino community. In 2012, she opened the Me-Mart Sari-Sari store, a place to let other newcomers find a little piece of home.
It's sort of a grocery store for the Filipino people and for the white people too if they want to come. It's not only a business, it's sort of I want to help the Filipino people that they can grab their, what they're craving for, because that's what I'm looking for before when I came here. It's just a different cooking, the taste, so you need the Filipino store to get that ingredients.
Despite working 7 days a week to bring Filipino cuisine to her customers, it took a conversation with one of her regulars to show Edna that she had already found her success.
One day, one of my customers told me, Ate, you're lucky you do have a store, and I do appreciate it. After she said that to me, before I never appreciated that I do have a store. I thought I'm just a sales lady here. I never have an idea that, I can make it, but I did. I have no idea before how to start a store. I'm enjoying here to see the customer like this, and it's just I'm happy to see people. Yeah, I got tired sometimes, but like I said, I have to do it.
Kyani Connect is powered by Kyani Canadian, a network of independent distributors. Kyani, experience more health, more wealth, more life. Financial support for this program was made possible by Community Future Southwest, supporting entrepreneurs in Southwest Saskatchewan.
Thank you, Community Future Southwest.
Ariel Camarador is a man that knows the value of hard work. Since moving with his wife and children from the Philippines to Canada in 2008, he has worked at least 8 different jobs, often 2 or 3 at the same time.
Maybe I have 8 or 9 jobs, yeah. Yeah, I still work in Walmart too. I apply there. I think that's self-determination. Self-determination. I want to work. I want to earn money. Yeah, I'm just looking forward, for my family. Here, I have to try to exceed, whatever I have in the Philippines.
In 2012, Ariel took his experience and turned it into Our Choice Cleaning Services, which quickly became known for its professionalism and quality of work.
It started a one-man job, doing everything this mall. When my son came 2013, he helped me here in the mall and some business. And we have to hire some workers now. We train them. I want to satisfy my client. I'm very happy for that when they appreciate us. I'm very, very happy. I think money cannot buy that one.
Today, Ariel is proud of his hard work, which led to his success in Canada as a business owner.
So when they know that I'm doing janitorial services here, oh, what happened to you, Ariel? You're doing a paperwork here, you're a consultant now, you're a janitor there. It's a job, I told them. I have my own business here. I always tell them, it's a good to live here in Canada. And I am honored to be a Canadian. I got my citizenship in 2012, and I'm proud to be a Canadian.
The City of Swift Current is continuing its discussions with the CPR to try and buy a number of historic buildings in the downtown core. We have more in this report. Swift Current's downtown is filled with a number of historic buildings. And as the community moves forward with the hopes of making downtown a year-round destination, city officials continue their discussions with the Canadian Pacific Railway. Ongoing correspondence, which surrounds the possibility of acquiring 3 buildings along North Railway Street, which have sat vacant for a number of years. Tim Marcus is the CAO for the City of Swift Current and gives this update on the attempted dialogue over the past 2 years.
Well, the project is, I'll guess, on sort of hold for a little bit. We're awaiting a response back from the CPR as to whether they will dispose of the buildings. And then, of course, the application would have to be made to the Minister of the Environment. But first and foremost, before that happens, there'd have to be some resolution on how the buildings would be maintained going forward, because to date there has been a lack of maintenance on those buildings.
Marcus adds that the CPR buildings are federally owned and at this point in time are maintained by the CPR. And as far as discussing any conceptual designs for the buildings with any contractors, the city would need to know the condition of the buildings first before partnering with any other firms.
It's hard at this point in time without a plan to go forward for people to step up and say they're interested or would have a use for them, but certainly we would like to be able to have something in them that would provide a daily use, so that those buildings do get looked after going forward.
And as Swift Current has been chosen as one of 11 communities for the Main Street Saskatchewan program, the CPR buildings could be on the radar for a facelift through various grants, further capitalizing on Swift Current's historical charm throughout the downtown core. Once again, all depending on the state of negotiations with the CPR. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.